Oh, I'm sorry to tell you, online scammers have a new weapon. That's your selfie. That's right. The pictures you post of yourself may be helping them steal your identity. Cyber expert Karim Hijazi, CEO of Prevailion, joins me live to tell us all about it. Oh, what will they come up with next? How are these crooks using selfies to steal info?
Good morning, Melissa. So unfortunately, crooks have wised up to the fact that I think we've all been beating the drum of don't fill out forms that you get online if it doesn't look legitimate. So they pivoted to this method of saying, hey, just want to verify you are who you are. You know, a lot of banks, a lot of organizations that need to know their customer, KYC work, require you to send a picture of your government ID or passport. And they're forging these requests, and people are sending these things in very innocently. And then information is harvested off the image. So your name, your birthday, unfortunately, in some cases, social security number, passport numbers, even vaccine cards are being shared now broadly as some form of ID, and they're making use of it.
That is so frustrating, isn't it? Okay, besides just stealing your identity, we're going to take this another step. There's another photo scam that's devious, even dangerous. Can you tell us more about the deep fake?
Yeah, this is something that's really been brewing for a while now, and it's really it's broken through some new layers where you can take an image and they can animate it to make it look like a video of you doing something. Mm-hmm. And it's essentially a mapping of your static image on top of a video of someone else, and it looks like you actually doing something. There's little apps for it that you can download on app stores that are free. So the more sophisticated groups have even more advanced technology. So the really concerning thing here, especially for women and children sharing videos and pictures out there, is that someone can get a hold of those videos and impose their face onto something else that was not them, and everyone's going to believe it. So,
yeah, what's frustrating about that is hopefully eventually you can prove your innocence to that, but at what cost? I'm sure it will take a while to be able to pull that off, and the info is already out there. That being said, we want to do what we can to protect our viewers so they don't have to deal with something like this. Is there anything you can do to stop this insanity?
It's tough because, you have to start to use that vigilance again to figure out what's actually valid to send out to someone and what's not. Just as a universal rule, don't send pictures of yourself. Don't scan your IDs and send it arbitrarily to someone asking for it over email by any stretch. A lot of the times the ones that are legitimate are through the apps that are validated that say, here, upload the image through this application. It has to be a trusted application. I know this is tough. Try not to share things on social media. Especially hard for the younger groups out there that are constantly sharing images back and forth. That's just an absolute, harvesting grounds for these guys to get things off of. So do your best to limit your exposure. Don't share things into open Google Drives or Dropboxes that don't have any kind of password protection on them or weak password protection. Those are other areas where they'll go in and they'll grab this stuff unbeknownst to you and use it. So really, it's all about just staying a little bit more private, contain your private information to yourself. In the event you need to send something out to your bank, make sure it's through the authorized tools that they give you to do that with.
And they are getting trickier and trickier with links they send you. It can even come from a name of somebody you know. I mean, you have to be really careful with that as well. And then I also want to make sure that I have time to ask you about spoofing. You want to talk us more and explain that?
Yeah, spoofing is where a hacker will actually pretend they're coming or use a name that is of a company you trust, but the real email address below it is not that. So it takes a little bit of skill to look at this on your email client. You can look at the actual email address, and if it doesn't match the organization that says it's coming from, that's a spoofed email. And usually people never look for that, right? They simply see the name that has been attributed to that email address, and they're like, oh, it's coming from Walmart, or it's coming from Target, or who knows what. And that gets to be a really problematic situation. So taking a look at really where the origins of the email address is coming from is going to be key. But that's a very fruitful thing for these guys, and they've been making off like bandits with it.
Karim, you make me never want to post again or send an email or even check email. But now that we know how to safely do it, hopefully it will make a difference. Thank you for that today.
Pleasure.
All right, take care.